You guys happy for it to go live?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a bit late now.
yeah.
Right, let's go. Where is everyone else?
It's a bit sparse, isn't it?
Bit sparse.
It's sparse.
Right, I must change the graphic on this one. There we go. So Olivia, I'll just give it 1 or 2 seconds. Where are we now? Good morning, Olivia.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Right, Daniel, have you read the screen before? You have. Hey,
Yeah.
Davide, have you read the screen before?
Yes, I have twice.
Oh, not that I'm counting. You're okay. Olivia, have you read the screen before?
No.
Guess who's going to read today? Can you see it,
Yeah.
Olivia?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, great. So let's
Um,
start by the pre-recording consent. Go for it.
Before we begin recording, I want to make sure everyone is aware and comfortable. This session is being streamed and recorded as part of UACT LERO's mission to build recovery capital and challenge stigma. Your personal safety and comfort come first. If at any time you would like your contribution or the recording deleted, please say so and will be removed without question. Please remember to take personal responsibility for what you share. This is an adult learning environment, not therapy, mutual aid, or a faith-based organisation. If you're happy to proceed, please give a verbal yes or use the chat to confirm you consent to the reading.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Right, so we're all in agreement. Okay. And is anyone held here under duress? My mum had the builders come around to her to give her a quote, and she had to phone up the bank to give a deposit. And the person that was on the bank kept asking her, is there anyone there holding you under duress? And she had the builder in the background and she couldn't see the number. So she was going, no, but yes, there's somebody here. And she couldn't make the transfer.
Mm.
And yeah, right. Here's Anthony. And while Anthony's joining, I'm just going to change my background.
Hello,
Good
Anthony.
morning, Anthony.
Hey guys, how's it going?
How's it,
Good.
Anthony?
Yeah, yeah, good. All right, man.
Right. So I've just changed my background to the 167 Recovery Project. And that's, I've got a bit of an agenda here that I want to bring in today because everyone here is quite experienced and familiar with these containers, yeah? Anthony should be certified now, certainly in terms of classroom attendance.
Oh yeah, I think I've probably done these twice over now.
Yeah, yeah. You
I'm just
just need,
struggling to get the coaching hours.
yeah, you just need some practical experience. Okay, well, that should change soon. All right. And Daniel, you work in an environment. Yeah.
Well, actually, no, I do. I,
Pardon?
I do actually work in an environment. I've just been given a job.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Okay,
well done.
congratulations.
I've been pulled out of retirement.
Okay, tell us about your job.
Well, it's still just doing what I've been doing, volunteering at the hub, but I'll be getting paid. So I won't be able to come to your thing because that's one of my paid days.
Brilliant,
But
Daniel.
I think Moss and Danny are going to come.
Wonderful. So you've gone from, were you a participant of the organization?
I've been a volunteer for coming up to 2 years. So I volunteer quite a lot, and Claire put.
But were you what they call sometimes a service user?
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I've been, yeah, that's what I've been. Yeah,
All right, so you're a participant of the
yeah,
charity,
yeah,
then you became a volunteer,
yeah,
then you became an ambassador,
yeah.
you've received this training, and now you've gotten a job.
And now I've got a job. Yeah,
Yeah, so you've moved along that continuum.
yeah.
Wonderful, well done. All right, so you're a professional now. Build the container.
Okay. My name's Daniel. I'm going to build a container for us today. Yeah, no, I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling quite pleased with myself. I was feeling quite scared as well. It's having to deal with universal credit and things like that. It's quite terrifying. And I will hand over to Davida.
Hi, good
David,
morning.
sorry.
Good morning, yeah, David. Good morning, guys. Checking in quite good, feeling good, a little bit anxious, carrying on. My coach is recovering. He's making progress. I'm happy. And yeah, weather's a bit cold, rainy, but yeah, otherwise all good. Anthony?
Thanks, Mayor. Congrats on the role, Daniel.
Oh, thank you.
Congrats, yeah.
I am feeling, yeah, I'm feeling all right, pretty grounded. With all the rain yesterday, I went to get in my car and my footwell was literally full of water up to the pedals. And
Oh
so
dear.
I joined late because I've just had to drop my car off at the garage around the corner. So that's been a bit of a disaster, but all good otherwise. Just one foot in front of the other. And I will tag Olivia.
Morning, everyone. Yeah, I'm really good today. Quite chilled actually. Yeah, so hopefully this is going to be another good session. And I tag in Davide.
No,
I've been. Thank you.
You back to David then.
Back to David.
there we go. All right. I'm just looking for a graphic which I can't find, where Daniel is in terms of his anxiety around universal credit. And if it's okay, I'd like to spend a couple of minutes talking about that, um, as today's learning. Because when we work with coachees, yeah, and people go from that along that journey from being somebody who's been a beneficiary of the organization or the charity or whatever it is, they then get involved, volunteer ambassador, and now they got a job. There's a huge anxiety with the benefits and what's going to happen with universal credit and all that sort of stuff. And I myself have a very similar anxiety as well, because I'm in a sheltered accommodation at the moment. I've been on a universal credit. I've been on limited capacity work, and I'm allowed to volunteer. So I'm quite stable in terms of resources around me, and now I want to move to the next level, but it's a bit like, oh, fuck, what's going to happen? So, Daniel, I relate to you. So, as you share your story, I go to level one listening and think, oh, yeah, that's going on for me too.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
my agenda is like, bring that into the container. But, 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 but I think it's a very important learning for us as coaches. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good morning, Charlie the Crow. Would you like to check in?
Yeah, Charlie the Crow is checking in, quite enthusiastic. Sorry, I'm a bit late. I've just had a meeting with my meditation teacher. So yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Wonderful. Okay, cool. All right, so let's explore that a bit, because one of the challenges of getting your life together is taking responsibility. And one of the reasons hospitals aren't exactly five-star hotels particularly in the public sector, is they want you to kind of get stable and then move out because it costs a lot of money to keep you in hospital. And that same theory happens in the public sector. In the private sector, in the private rehab sector, they don't want you to get well. Yep. And you can stay in because financially it's good for them. So there's an ethical conversation there somewhere. Yep. And yeah, so Daniel, let's go with you for a bit. And congratulations on getting a job. So first of all, let's start with what is the job? What is the role?
Well, the job is hub assistant, so I'll just carry on doing what I do, which is I do a bit of everything really. I make people tea when they first come in. I make food. I show people how to cook. I jump in and help out on the groups and things, and sign people as clients. Uh, so it'll be continuing to do that. But yeah, so it's only 10 hours to start. Uh, so as we're saying with the universal credit, when I rang up, the guy, I've honest to God, the guy who I spoke to, I've never spoke to anyone more rude at all. I think I just interrupted something, and he was like, "What?" And then I just said that I've been offered this job, and you want, yeah, right. And then he goes, "Oh yeah, they'll take 55p for every pound, and you just put it in your portal." And then, and then I was like, "All right." So I just didn't understand what he was saying. So I made him explain it to me, and then I was about to hang up, and he says, "Oh wait a minute, can you just hold there for a minute? We'll just write this down." And then I just listened to him for 5 minutes, just going, and then I told him to use the portal, and just typing it all up. But I still, yeah, it's nerve-wracking because I think I was really ill when I put a claim in a few years back, and I've been, I think I've been quite lucky, and I've been what I'd class. I feel like I'm in a trap completely. Like the idea, because I get my rent paid, I get a decent amount of money, uh, and I don't have to see anyone. They just leave me be. Uh, so then the idea of that getting pulled away is terrifying. Like I even had nightmares last night. So
So Daniel, let me jump in there and rescue you. So this
yeah,
is a frap, yep.
yeah,
And this is me sharing my lived experience around this and understanding a bit of the system as it's slowly. So first of all, your feelings of feeling fear and overwhelm is understandable. Yep.
mm,
And the way that I understand it is it's universal credit, there's income support or PIP or something.
mhm,
Yeah. And then you're allowed to earn up to, I think it's about £400 a month doing paid volunteer work.
yeah.
Yeah. And then after that, it's 50p for every pound that you get after that.
He told me it was just 55p.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
And oh, 55.
No,
So,
I mean, yeah. There was no excess.
yeah, so that's the
Mhm.
first thing is the confusion of understanding like what's going on and blah, 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 blah. It can be incredibly overwhelming. It's incredibly overwhelming for me. And if it's overwhelming for me, it's going to be overwhelming for other people as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, and paperwork and tax and that stuff really brings up anxiety for me, for my ADD, my dyslexia, my yeah, it's really. And I've also got a big voice in my head that says I don't deserve this. I'm somehow committing fraud. I'm a crook. Like I don't feel nice about it. That's me. Other people feel very entitled and it's my human right and all that. I'm not in that camp personally.
I felt, yeah, no, that's what I felt. I felt more of a fraud. That's what I was having nightmares about last night. I actually felt more of a fraud than I ever have because someone's giving me some paid work, and it's like, yeah, it's crazy.
Okay.
Isn't it? Mm.
All right. So that's an underlying psychological condition that you're in a well place, but we need to talk about and get some coaching around,
Yeah,
like some reality check around that, some checking of the false belief stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How are you feeling this second?
I feel all right at the moment. Yeah, I feel better talking about these things.
Okay. Great. So you feel better talking about it. Me
Yeah.
too. All right. What does the rest of the container feel about this conversation? Anthony, let's go with you.
Um, well, funny because I just put a claim in for universal credit for the first time yesterday. I think I shared on the last few. I am in a bit of a in between at the minute where I'm feeling, I've just been focusing on my recovery since I got back from treatment in October 24. And, I was fortunate enough, I sold my house, so I've been able to use some of that money to get by. And now I'm in a position where that money's running out. And, you know, I haven't finished this qualification yet, so I'm still working on this. I'm doing some other things, but I don't have none of it's like driving any income. And so I'm trying to find clients in my previous work. And so I'm just like, all of my work is like, my career work. I have to be in London, but I don't actually want to be in London at the minute, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not ready to go to networking events and where people are boozing.
Oh, it's a
Um,
fucking nightmare, huh?
yeah, and so I put in my claim yesterday and it was accepted. I had to do a call and stuff. And so I guess I'm just on the opposite scale of that. I need some help to take the edge off because I'm feeling quite anxious about well, just financially, I guess, it's starting to get down to that place where, I think we did a one-on-one session. I think Charlie was there. It's like I want to move away from what I've done for work before because that paid for a lifestyle that needed that, money. And now, but I'm slowly feeling myself being dragged back to being like, what's the quickest way I can take the edge off this problem? And
Okay.
that is going back to doing the consultancy stuff.
So if we take a continuum here, Daniel's on the one end, and you're on the other end where the affluent lifestyle of consulting in the fintech industry under finance drove your mental well-being into the ground. And you
Yeah,
and
yeah. And
and you needed to go into to treatment. Yeah. You've
yeah,
come back to the UK. You're getting back on your feet. And now your personal finances are under pressure and you need a bit of support around that. You've put in a claim. You're getting that because the lifestyle that was driving you, created the problem in the first place, was starting to raise its head again.
yeah, 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 yeah. And I
Um,
guess, ultimately that was paying for, alcohol and drug habit as well. And, now I'm not doing that. I'd prefer not to be doing that, but that's the quickest way that I can remedy my
yeah.
financial worries, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. So the lifestyle which you're kind of good at drives the addiction, and then it's like, oh, so I completely understand that.
Mm.
All right. So we're sharing some personal stuff here. I just want to check, is everyone all right with that still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. All right. David, what's this bringing up for you, this conversation?
Yeah. I've got a contract with my client until the end of February. So yeah, pretty much all right until then. It might be extended. It depends on how he's recovered. I'll do much like as Daniel explained. I'm with my client 24/7. Well, it's a 24/7 job, keeping him motivated, looking after him, taking him through to his appointments. Uh, making sure he's eating correctly, cooking for him. Making sure in the mornings he wakes up. Just to try and sort out a schedule for him, keep him occupied and his mind. How can I say going?
Okay,
He's
so let me just rephrase. So you're in a living position at the moment where you're supporting someone in their
correct.
recovery. It's going on for 3 months, and it might be extended.
Correct.
However, and this is where the ethics come in the other side of things. Yeah, you become reliant on that income. Yeah, and they might say, well, yeah, he really needs another 3 months when act because that's more your financial needs. Yep. So
Yes.
I'm just bringing that out there and popping this into the container. So we're getting an idea of the system. Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. So wonderful. Olivia, what's the conversation bringing up for you?
I'm kind of like getting university credit obviously at the moment, and I get PIP as well because my liver cirrhosis and that. I do want to get back to work, but it's trying to find the balance of what I'm getting from the university credit and what you're getting from work, and where's that kind of, I'm just about surviving as I am now. Will I be better off if I go for a job, or would I just be like worse off? So I'm in that kind of predicament at the moment. Um, my focus is to get a job eventually,
Okay.
and just have to be a big girl and get a job.
Okay. So I'll come back to you in a second, Olivia, because I want you guys to think about what's the difference between a job and a vocation. Yeah. So just think about like that, something that gives you kind of meaning and purpose, and another thing that you have to kind of go to because it pays the fucking rent. Yeah. Charlie?
Um, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in and out of this conversation because I've got some stuff going on in the background. The difference between a job and your vocation. I wouldn't do a job now. Once I've found my vocation, my meaning, passion, and purpose, then the job will never exist because I just couldn't go back to it. I just could not go back to it. Uh, um, I, I mean, obviously we need money to live and we need money to pay bills and all this stuff, and I get that stuff. I really, really do. But you know, I'm also on human benefits at the moment as well. I feel I'm very fortunate that I've got a roof over my head and human running water and electricity. Um, but when you start working for your passion, your meaning and purpose, it's like it awakens your soul. Um, and when that awakens up, then I just can't go back to that normal 9 to 5. It just, that world does not exist for me anymore. So, like, when say this morning, I was up at 4 o'clock this morning on my laptop, ideas and da 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 da, man, and all the kind of all the post-it notes are all over my table, man, and stuff, man, like this, and my organized chaos that the way that I human work. I don't think a job would like me anyway because I'm too. But yeah, so I mean, when I have woken up to this my world, I couldn't do it if I was still in active addiction and still very much asleep, then I could do my 9 to 5, and I have done. But when you find your meaning, passion, and purpose, then it opens up. It's opened up my soul, and there is no going back. Even if I wanted to go and do my 9 to 5, I would probably be sacked within a day, because I just couldn't do it. Could not do it. I don't know if that's answered your question or not. So
it's great, Charlie. So I just want to jump in for 1 second here and plug this 167 idea. Yeah, 167 recovery idea. And the reason around that is there's 1 hour of treatment a week. Yeah. So you go and see your therapist, your doctor, your whatever it is. But the other 167 hours that make up the week is really where the recovery is going to happen. Yeah. And this is where people with lived experience like ourselves can add a lot of value to society by filling up those 167 hours. Yeah. So for me, yep, I've been in a place of safety. I've got a little bit of income coming in. Yep. And I've been able to just focus on what I love doing, which is this work. So we've opened up that school in Uganda with a cell phone, what we've been doing with Rabson in Zambia, the University of Zambia coming together, working with this developing LEROs and things. I've been way more productive citizen in society now that I've kind of been held with some sort of basics. Yeah. But I need to move on as well. I need to kind of get back into the marketplace and get some income so I can live in a house where my girlfriend's allowed to come over, or my kids could come and visit me and stay over. So I need to move out of this sheltered accommodation, but it's quite fucking scary because I've got a nice, safe foundation there. And I promise you, I'm not the only person that's in this situation. And there's a lot of discrimination around people that find themselves in this situation. There's lots of stigma still, yeah? And by working in these sorts of environments, that certainly helps my self-esteem, the way I see myself. Yeah. And I can see the value that I am giving to the community, to the village, to the world, which essentially makes me feel good about me. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
And
actually.
no, coming, Daniel, please.
No, I have actually. I've stole your 167. I think I've said it to two people last week.
Great.
And
Yes, it was given to me by Clive. Clive is someone who's worked in this environment trying to come up with solutions.
it worked as well. It did work. It's a real, yeah. It's a good concept. Yeah, just breaking up your week into hours. Uh, I think it's
Oh,
quite.
wow. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I thought it was quite effective. That's someone. Yeah. We had one lad. He's keeps coming back. I think that was a big part of it. I was like, well, what are you gonna do the rest of the time? You've still got 167 hours after this.
Good for you.
So,
How are you feeling now, Daniel?
yeah, I feel good. It is nice. Yeah, I get that we're all on a similar page and stuff. But it's so bizarre. And like you're saying, I think the vocation thing's really nice as well. I'm just having a realization. That's what I've got. Because as soon as money comes and gets involved, it sullies it a little bit. Uh, it'd just be nice just to be able to just go about our day doing what we do and not have to worry about money, wouldn't it? It would be so much better. Uh, but it's necessary evil, so yeah.
So what we're doing here is we're developing the fourth sector.
Mhm.
So the fourth sector is a mixture of business, statutory services, and charity. Yeah. Now the fourth sector is kind of what we're doing here, where how can we bring sustainability and change where we're not kind of creating an environment where we're relying on charitable handouts. We're not a burden on statutory systems like the NHS or the police or the criminal justice system because they're trying to fucking manage the chaos. And how are we not, becoming greedy capitalists in the world of finance, like the people that have impacted Anthony in his world? Like that business. And I don't want to get too critical about it because when you get behind it and you see the human that's in that place, they're also just kind of driven by fear and loneliness. And you know the story about the billionaire that goes off into his yacht and shoots himself. You know that story?
Heard a
That's a,
couple of them.
that's a story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, you spend all your life striving for something, you get there and it's like, oh well, fuck, what was that about? Yeah.
Meaningless. Everything is meaningless.
Yeah. So they're all humans here. Yeah. So Daniel, the first thing I'm going to say to you is speak to Claire and see if you can come on the systemic wellness practitioner training in the afternoons, where you can use coaching to help you in your role within the workplace.
Okay.
Yep, and tell her it's she can make a donation to us for that.
What day is that?
It's on a Thursday from 2 to 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to do that.
Yeah, well, just put it
I,
out to her.
I will say to her though. Yeah.
Yeah. It's where other people are coming
Someone
from.
else could do it. Yeah, someone else might be able to do it. Yeah.
So it's where it's aimed for people that are in paid positions in LEROs to
Yeah.
come and see, okay, I'm here in an organization in a professional role.
Yeah.
How can I use coaching to support that role?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Will somebody talk to Charlie, please, so he can stay awake?
How are you getting on, Charlie?
There we go, Daniel. Well done, mate.
I've not seen you for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm getting on well. How am I doing? Yeah. It was a quiet Christmas and New Year, a few weeks, which has been nice and quiet. And then they kind of changed the concept of what we do, stripped it all back, took out what wasn't working and took in and made some ideas of what is working now. So that's kind of where we've been, and we launched what we do again, and it's been a massive success. I mean, so far. So the minute I'm kind of on social media, the emails, and all this, responding to all this in information that's coming in. So there's quite exciting times ahead, and there's people that are interested in us, and organisations that are interested in us. By just really by stripping our organisation back and saying, right, we've tried that for a year, that doesn't work. Let's try them on something else, and it instantly caught a light. So
is we do a fundraiser?
We do it as a community interest group. We're not just a charity. We're the community group, and what our kind of ethos was is that we were this holistic movement in our community. So we did like Tai Chi, meditation classes, my walking talks, and done and that. So we did all the holistic stuff. And there was a lot of work in it. Actually, there was a lot of work. I had to pay I had to pay for the hall, obviously, and the work and the promotion side, and I got to about December time, and I thought, this isn't working. So I spoke to the lad who I run my We Do with, and I said, I have an idea. And he said, what is it now? and I said, let's strip it all back. We take out all the holistic stuff, and we drive this walk and talk. We actually moved the walk and talk because the walk and talk was actually by the beach. And we moved the walk and talk inland to somewhere called Tees Barrage that Anthony will know very well because I met him to give a coffee. And we moved the walk and talk, was in between Stockton and Middlesbrough. It's a very well known one place. It's like a canalman system as well. There's dog walks and all this. So we moved the walk and talk inland. My mate Dan made this fabulous poster through AI. I'm a walk and talk every Friday night. Everybody's welcome. Da 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 da. Within like 4 or 5 days, we had 1.5 million hits on that poster alone, and it's still going. And then we introduced something called Mates Not Madness, where we will be meeting in Tees Barrage, which is basically like a beefeater pub. So you give themselves alcohol, man, and that, but it's predominantly food. And we are going to meet in them on once a month as a way that people can socialise, either with alcohol or without alcohol, but no pressure on all that madness of life. So that's the only two things that we are working with. And then we've also got something called the Wellness and Resilience Program. That's a real fundamental of our program, how we get people into this multiple path to recovery. But yeah, so that's the three strands. Hopefully this year as well, you will go into the WWP, which will be the Work to Wellness program, because I know there's a big ask for that. In actual fact, we've just had an email from ASDA, which is right next to this Tees Barrage. Actually, they've already sent an email asking if I can come in and have a coffee so that I can speak to their ASDA champions about their staff in there who suffer from mental health. So within me having a conversation with Dan in the car, stripping it all back, and what I actually call my we do now is I call it. So the kick is called my we do, but to really get into social media, we really need to come up with an idea. So when I did research and all the recovery agencies and all this, they are absolutely awful at social media. I have not come across anybody yet, agency-wise, that's good at social media, recovery-wise. So I was like, how do we get these normal people to buy into recovery? How do we do that? And so the concept was, well, let's get them out there to buy into a story. And the story was, and this is the Truman story, two lads met in recovery and had an idea. The idea was to help others. So we changed the concept so that the general public buy into the two lads helping others in recovery. And with that idea then came the walk and talk poster. So people are buying into the two lads story that's then made the poster fly. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing.
Well, I'm in a group similar, well, along them lines. There's a group in Brighton called Tonic, and it's a WhatsApp group, but there's like 300 members, and because it's WhatsApp, you can just do all the different events as separate groups within it.
Yeah.
And then like we all go for Sunday dinner, we go to shows. They do 5K runs on Saturday. And because everyone out in the community then build it up, but it's booming. It's booming. Yeah, it's but WhatsApp is such an amazing thing. Like, WhatsApp is an amazing resource for actually organizing people and getting things out there. And because it's kind of, a democracy type thing. You just anyone you can just add anyone to admin and things. So that sounds like.
The kind of way that I've came out, you come at it, Jim and Daniel, is like there's loads of people out there that are suffering. I already know that there's men out there that are absolutely suffering. There's loads of pain and suffering out there, and I know this through my social media. So instead of me, I'm waiting for them to come to us. Why don't we go out and meet them where they're at? That's really the concept.
Right.
Let's go out and meet them. Instead of them waiting for us, because if I'm waiting for them to meet us, then it's never going to happen. Let's go and meet them let's go out and meet them and tell them our story, our genuine, authentic story, and see if that resonates, which it is man resonating. That's what the thing is. Let's take it out there. Let's meet them in their terms instead of accepting asking them to meet them in my terms.
Yeah.
Because that's what I've been doing actually, like unconsciously. Oh man, you come here, man, meet me in my terms. Let's go out and meet them in their terms.
So meet the clients where they're at.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just bring it back to this training. Yeah. And who shall I throw under the bus, Olivia or Davide? Who wants to be thrown under the bus? Well, from when Daniel goes like that, it points to Olivia for me. But
Thank you.
okay, so Olivia, I want you to summarize what we've spoken about in the container this morning. What have you heard in the container? And there's no right or wrong here. It's just
Daniel,
what's emerged.
Daniel bringing in the university, how that will work out for him. With Charlie, I was kind of getting lost with some of the things he was saying. I was just like, I can't keep up. He talks so fast. But yeah, it all sounds really like what he's doing and what he's trying to implement, and how he's reaching others, not by telling people to come to him, that they're going out and reaching people outside. And that's a good thing to do. I think that's it. That's all I've got.
Okay. Who wants to build on that, Davide?
Yeah, I've always got 100 things to say, but when it gets to me to talk, I forget about it. I think Charlie's doing a great job. Really, Charlie, I think, wow, that's amazing what you're doing. And I think, you're giving hope to a lot of people out there.
Summarize the container, Davide.
And
So what's been spoken about today?
What's been spoken about today? Well, making a living out of what we're doing, I would say. All right, and at the same time, contributing to society, and fulfilling the passion that we have. That's why we're here. But at the same time, we also need to live, and we got to keep our standards of living up. And obviously, it's contributing and taking our experience and sharing it with with people that need it. So yeah.
Okay. What else, Daniel?
Yeah, David's contract's coming to an end next month, so he's quite proud and nervous about that. Anthony is just signing up for Universal Credit because his finances are getting tight at the moment, and we can all appreciate how stressful that would be. Yeah, and Olivia was talking about getting a job in the future.
Okay. Wonderful. Anthony?
I guess all of that, as everyone's repeated that, I guess on a broader sense, it just shows that, every individual journey is different, but we're all looking to do something in this space to create like meaningful change. And I think we're all on different paths with that. And it just shows there is no path's the right path, There's space
Multiple
in this
paths.
world for all of us. Guess it's finding your niche, isn't it, within it?
Okay.
Can I ask something? Like, you were saying before, it's about us developing and getting to a position where, we don't rely on charity or this and that. But I don't like, how do you do that? Because I think with what we're doing, within the recovery world, there needs to be a charity element of, an outside funding to keep it going. But I definitely feel the benefit of what we do over a lot of the harm reduction stuff. Whereas I don't see people getting better when they're just being managed in that way. Uh, but there is option like what I think the plan is for the recovery hub is we're going to eventually become a paid. It'll be a low price but paid cafe. So we'll be doing but we'll be charging for food and tea and coffee, and then hiring. Uh, we're gonna have two sites, so we'll be have a hub for people to come and do workshops and things like that, and then we'll be able to take them on in the cafe. I think that's the idea. But it's yeah, how do you get money besides well, like getting grants and charity and things like that?
So what's your question, Daniel?
It's just like yeah, how do you get it? It sounds like it just seems really difficult to keep something in these areas going without being reliant on charity and funds.
What's the question?
How else would we generate that?
How else do we generate income?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. So what's the answer to that question, Daniel?
I don't know.
No. Just sit with the anxiety and
Yeah.
then just let that pass and then answer the question.
Well, it's like for yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is because all the fun has to come. It seems to come from it's outside resources, isn't it? But if you're a benefit to society, I feel that's there's nothing wrong with that. But when you were saying it sounded like developing like getting money from other becoming fully self-sustaining type thing. But I don't see how because we are I'd say we're a branch of the NHS really. You know, there should be funding there for it. Uh,
So so this is what I see differently around us,
yeah,
where we're trying to take the Ubuntu approach, the
yeah,
village approach. Yeah. And what I see here in the West is you've got like the I mean the way it's and I'm open to be corrected if I'm wrong, but the public sector and the charity sector and the commission sector are all reliant on funding from government or charities or something, and they all have to bid amongst themselves for contracts, and then they all start to fight amongst themselves like businesses.
yeah,
So the charity component gets squeezed out of the ethos of it gets squeezed out of it because there becomes like you now need to be a run like a business. Does that make sense?
yeah,
And the business side of things comes along and then kills the spiritual side of the charity.
yeah,
So when someone's being charitable, they're doing it because they feel good about charity. Yeah, it buys into their vocational stuff. And the way that the 12-step fellowships handle that is they have tradition 7, yep, declining outside contributions, yep, and then they have the 12-step thing that says you only keep what you have by giving it away.
yeah,
Yep. Are you guys familiar with the 12-step stuff?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how the 12-step fellowships have survived all these years. They've got the 12 steps, the 12 traditions, and the 12 concepts. Now, the clinical treatment industry has taken that stuff and tried to put it into the treatment world and the clinical world. And now you have 12-step facilitated treatment and you have drug courts and you have, which is a very American cultural westernized approach that has gone around the world in the treatment world on the back of the war on drugs. So when you bring in things like harm reduction, there's then systemic tension because people say, oh, there needs to be complete abstinence, or you can't do this, or la 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 la. Am I making sense here?
Yeah.
What we're trying to do from an Ubuntu perspective is like what's good for the community and for everyone.
Yeah.
And where Charlie's gone in terms of a kick, a community interest company, there's a governance structure there that has the business sense to it, like you've got to do what's good for the business and have a board of directors and shareholder values and all that sort of stuff. But the assets within that business need to be purchased for the interest of the community. Yeah. So that's the commercial side of it. Yeah. The downside of charity and handouts is you get people stuck in the place of living with on handouts. Yeah. And people don't know how to get out of that because it's fucking scary. So if you go to prison and you live in prison for fucking 5 years, you get your food, accommodation, you get a real structure that brings some sort of safety. You leave that environment, you go to the outside world and you've got all this freedom. It's fucking traumatic. And then you reoffend subconsciously to get back to a place of safety. Does that make sense? And it's
Yeah.
no different in the treatment world. People just kind of go back to like, oh, fuck, I've relapsed. I've got to go back to hospital or I've got to. It's very similar. Okay, I can see I'm getting excited and going a bit off track here. Okay. Let me just take a breath. Are you all coming to the Sober Companion training? I'm so excited about Davide. Obviously not. Which country are you in? Are you in South Africa or Portugal?
Portugal, Algarve,
Okay.
Albufeira.
Okay, cool. All right.
Wish I could go there.
Yeah, we'd love
Next
to have
time.
you.
Next time. Next time, please.
Yeah.
I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to the next opportunity when it comes through. I'd
Okay.
really like to participate and attend.
Yeah, okay. So let's take a break. Yeah. I mean, we've covered a lot this morning. We've gone into the ethics of things, we've gone into the practicalities, we've gotten into the stages of where different people are at. There's a hell of a lot of content here.
Yeah, it's pretty much like myself. I've got this 2 months left, or till the end of February. I'm a bit anxious. You know
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
what's
yeah.
going
Of
to happen
course you're anxious.
afterwards. Yeah,
Yeah.
what's going to happen afterwards? You know, like I'm in prison now. I've got my food paid for, my accommodation paid for, everything, and then come end of February, oh shucks, everything's taken away. Where do I go from here?
Well, imagine what it's like for the therapy industry.
Mm,
If people like us suddenly got better.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's and I'm not saying that in a provocative way. I just want to say it in a
yeah,
in the space for us.
mhm,
I mean, it's a bit like whenever there's a change that comes along, people get scared.
yeah.
I mean, I remember when fax machines were replaced by emails. It's like fuck. It was like
The the
uh,
pages, the pages that we used to carry.
yeah. All right, everyone, let's take a quick 10-minute break and then we'll come back at 5 past.
Okay.
All right. Cheers.
Do you need to check out, Charlie?
No, I'm okay. I just keep getting calls every now and again, so
Oh,
just
okay,
wondered.
great, cool,
No,
cool,
no,
good.
no,
You're
man, I'm
sticking
fine.
around.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you, Crow. Charlie the Crow. Anthony, you good? I'm pleased you're coming up to London.
Yeah, yeah, all good, Ryan.
Wonderful. I'm so pleased you're coming up. Have you got a place to stay yet?
I can probably stay at a friend's house.
Wonderful.
What
Good.
what what area what areas fit in?
Battersea.
Battersea. Oh yeah, so he I can just jump on the Northern Line from here. He lives in Finchley, right up north.
Oh, okay, cool. So come down to Clapham Common or whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it should be sound.
Great. I'm just gonna go make coffee. I'll see you in a minute.
How's it going, guys? All right.
Sorry, yeah, all good. I'm just typing some stuff out. Sorry.
Yeah, good.
And see Anthony's so keen today, he didn't even switch off his camera. He just sat there. How's your back, Anthony?
Yeah, my back's doing all right, man. I played paddle yesterday for the first time since November.
Oh wow, okay.
So yeah, it's feeling a bit sore today, but it's just because I haven't ran around for the last few months. So yeah, it's settled down, which is good.
That paddle's become popular, huh?
I think it's good. It's just very like accessible and you know, fun. Like I played yesterday with some people who are like in their 70s, and everyone's the same ability because of the glass around it. So it makes with tennis, if you play against someone who's way better than you, once that ball's past you, like, it's not that fun for you because it's their point. Whereas in paddle, it can come back from the glass and then you can hit it back, so
Okay.
it's a lot more like continuous, doesn't matter what ability you are really.
Maybe I should give it a try. What's the rackets like?
It's like have you ever, when you go to the seaside and you have those like wooden circular panels, the two bats and a ball you would buy from a seaside shop? They're that shape, but they're just a bit thicker and they just like absorb it, so you can't like hit it. You can hit it quite hard, but that's not the aim of the game really. It's more like placing it around the court. So it takes off a lot of that, like a tennis serve is like 150 mile an hour or whatever. There's none of that.
Because I used to play tennis, and then I got bitten by a dog on my thumb. And then there was stitches that I got where it stitched the nerve into the scar. So when I hold a tennis racket, sometimes the force of the racket hits that nerve, which sends a
Oh,
tingle all up my arm.
Oh,
So I can't play tennis anymore. But if it's a
oh.
bat like those beach bats, I can
yeah.
hold.
Yeah, because
So
you don't get that vibration really. It's got like a big shock absorber in between. It's about that thick.
it's like I can play squash,
Yeah.
but yeah, and I've really got to find something for my health. I've got to find some,
I think give it a go.
yeah.
When I was in treatment, they had the other one is they have pickleball courts and we played a lot of pickleball.
What's pickleball?
It's like it's with a plastic ball, so you'd never get any of those shocks with pickleball. And it's like a big table tennis bat. It's
Okay,
basically a big game of table tennis. But it's on like a tennis court, but a fraction of the size. And the
okay.
ball's hollow and plastic and it has holes in. And then you play similar. Um it's very it's not as big and wide and expansive as a paddle court. It's very short and sharp and it's super fun as well.
It's inclusive.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But if you're worried about your hand, then pickleball, it's literally just a hollow, thin plastic ball with holes. So you can't hit it hard and there's no impact on that bat either.
So as a sober coach, yeah, you want to be aware of things like this that you could take someone to, yeah, to fill
Mm.
up the 167 hours.
It's a good
So
activity.
yeah, and that's called external recovery capital. All
Yeah,
right, it's
I don't
we
have
still
one
got
six
two
seven
minutes.
hours.
And
Huh?
I don't have 167 hours.
and that
No. You're employed now.
I'm employed.
Ooh, you think you're better than us now? Ooh.
Oh no, I'm still a model volunteer. Yeah.
I think when I was in treatment, that's what they had these courts and things for, so we didn't have too much time sat around and doing nothing. We had
Mm.
this team of guys encouraging us to, you know, table tennis, pickleball,
Everybody.
I table
all,
tennis.
yeah,
It's
we
that
had,
hard. It's so hard.
it's quite fun though, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like it's it looks like because it looks so easy, but because the ball's so light and it just like it takes ages to get any good at it.
Yeah. I'm okay. I was by the end of treatment after 3.5 months, I could hold my own. But the people who work in there were just incredible because that's pretty much what all they do.
Great. All right. So, Olivia, are you up to building the container? Or did you just do it? I think you just did it.
Oh, I did it.
No,
No. It was Daniel who did it. Yeah?
yeah.
Okay, go for it, Olivia. Build the container.
Yeah, it's a lot of information to take on. Am I on it? Yeah. Yeah, so I'm just kind of writing my notes down. so I can go through it later properly. But yeah, loads of different things have been brought up. University credit, what Charlie's doing. Yeah, so I will tag in Anthony.
Thanks, Olivia. Yeah, I think it's been an interesting first session, and something that come up for me that I think is from the first session. There's obviously, I guess, with Daniel's question sparked something in me really of like, how do we monetize or become sustainable without the need of charity? And I guess in my work, I do something where I help founders to grow a business essentially, and maybe there's something that I can do in the space of like educating people of, how to take those steps into creating, monetizing their vocation. So that was something that came up for me in the recovery space, is helping to educate people and, show them that it's not that, as fear inducing as, whenever I'm trying to start something, there's that fear and the self-worth and all of that stuff. But when you put an actionable step-by-step plan in place, it's turning something into monetization can be a lot more fulfilling and less fear-inducing.
Are you taking?
David.
Thank you, Anthony. Yeah, I think it is something to think about. From our side, I think trying to inculcate, with a passion, with recovery, I'd say from our side, I'll see if I can, at the same time, try to offer a service, especially when somebody's in that recovery space. They're very volatile, fragile. They're not up to making their appointments. They're not up to actually, going to places or being able to drive to the clinics or facilities. So yeah, from my side, I think to implement a service within that recovery space, and then bring my passion into it as well. In helping, that's the way I can, how can I say, express myself through using my life experiences and living with a person. I think, I would say a service. I'd say, but also obviously try to make a living out of it as well. Yeah. Charlie, I see you managing there. I'm learning a lot from you, trying to learn. But yeah, I think also the whole thing of hope. Yeah, hope. I think that's a big thing. Hope. What
Is
do you
that
say,
everyone
Charlie?
checked in?
Me.
Yeah, go on.
Go on, Charlie.
Sorry, yeah, I am checking in. I'm grateful to be here. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. That's me. I'm in.
Yeah, I'm full of nicotine and coffee and happy. Back to you, David.
Right. Can you see my whiteboard there?
Kinda. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, I can see
You
what's
see, but
there.
not very well, David.
Yeah, I just want you to get the idea of it, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see if I can bring it in even closer.
Yeah, that's better.
Is that better?
That's better.
I'm
All right.
not very focals.
I need you to keep talking, David, because it goes off when someone else talks.
Oh, okay. So, all right. Have you got me now? All right.
Yeah.
So I just want to talk about, so on a Tuesday, we got community of practice there. Yeah. On a Thursday morning, we've got this lived experience recovery peer recovery coaching path. And then this afternoon, we've got the systemic wellness practitioner path. yeah, which I was speaking to Daniel about. So coming from here, going to here because now he's got a job, yeah. And the reason this is in red is it's all getting streamed and coming to our YouTube channel, which I then take the transcript from that and then feed it into our Maoni system, our AI system, yeah, our community where we've got these various projects. So there's Bruno, there's Rabson, there's Charlie there, there's Sankalpa, there's Reach Out and Recover, there's Emma from Recovery Connections, yeah. So this is our ecosystem, yeah. And what we do as an organization is we train people, empower individuals to improve treatment outcomes. And that's really what we're doing here at Maoni. And I just wanted to say that to just place the conversation for you all for where you're at today. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, cool. All right, so now I can go back to being undercover and I can put on a background. Great, so now we're back here. All right, good. So, Davide, how many classes have you done?
I think I'm on number 14 now.
All right, 14.
Started in September.
And you, Olivia?
I can't remember, to be honest with you. About 17, I think.
Yeah, okay. So you guys have moved along this continuum, huh? So the first 10 classes take you up to become a peer recovery specialist. Yeah, so that gives you 20 hours of classroom theory. The next 10 hours after that, up to 20 hours, gives you the 40 hours of becoming a certified professional recovery coach. Yeah, which is really where Daniel has come to. Yep. What number training is this for you, Daniel?
21, I think.
Yeah, okay. And so Daniel, you've arrived. Yeah.
So this is what it looks like.
Yeah, okay. And Daniel, have you done all the online content, the online self-study stuff?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I got a thing for that. Yeah.
So at the end of doing the self-study, you would get a certificate that
Yeah.
says you've done the self-study stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And have you received a certificate from Paula?
I think so.
Okay.
I
So
think
Paula heads up Maoni in the Netherlands.
it was it. Yeah. What was it posted out or was it print off?
No, it would have been posted out. She would have need to receive an email from Claire,
Yeah.
your boss, saying that they're happy with you.
Okay. Oh, I'm not sure about that one then.
All right, so you need to follow that up and to be okay with that, because that's when you get the Maoni certification,
Yeah.
and then you're part of a professional network. Okay.
Yeah.
And the reason we want to create that is so that we've got like common professionals that understand our way of doing things. Yeah. So meeting clients where they're at, multiple pathways to recovery, filling up the other 167 hours, taking a systemic approach to it. Charlie's got a great example of how he's taken his organization and said, okay, we need to reevaluate here. How do we make the community better? Yep. So let's remarket. Let's come up with something called Two Lads. What's it? Two Lads Have a Talk. Two Lads.
Walk and talk.
Had an idea.
Two Lads had an idea. Yeah. How do we market that? How do we get that out there? How do we break stigma by talking about this stuff in an open way? Yeah. Why do you think some people don't talk about this stuff in an open way? That's a question for everyone here as I move my table back.
Are we talking about recovery? Or are we talking about building ideas?
We're certainly not talking about selling drugs online.
Not selling drugs. No, it's just but we so we're talking. Well, Charlie's thing is it two men have an idea. So is that two men talking about what ideas they've got for growing their life, starting a business, or is it a walk and talk where they're talking
It's
about their issues?
it's really a story. It's just the story. Two lads had an idea. How do we so my experience on this recovery coaching journey and my own recovery is that people buy into people buy into it. So like on my Facebook, there's like 98,500 people in there. They bought into me, who was doing all this other stuff. They never bought into what I was actually doing. They were buying into the story. So it's like, what is the story? What are we doing? So instead of me saying, so I've got this and I've got that and I've got this and I've got that, just my social media experience tells me that people, first of all, buy into the story and the person behind the story. Then some of them will look at the concept and what's behind that. Not everybody, but that's really what it is. It's just a story for we do of how we get the brand out there. So by going meeting people in their terms, that's the basic. So when I'm on social media and I'm flicking through my social media, it's like, I will stop at something. I will stop at something when I'm interested in. I won't stop at something that I won't stop at something I'm not interested in. Like if I'm selling something, then I will flick through. But if I see someone or something I'm interested in, I'll stop. So really what it actually is especially on social media, it's trying to stop the scroll. Someone told me this a while ago, how do we stop the scroll? Well, we stop the scroll by a story emerging. Two lads who were suffering now want to help other people that are in the same sort of place. So it's a story, that's what I'm saying. A true story, but is a story.
So let me take it down
Please.
I'm not sure what the words are, but it's for Olivia, yeah, being a mother in recovery, the consequences of how it might impact children can be higher. Yeah. So I've had my kids taken away and put in care because of my mental health. And I know that as terrible as that was for me, I know mothers get that there's more stigma in society for mothers that are in that position. Yeah, there's kind of well, we expect dads to be like that. Does that make sense? So I just want us to bring some awareness and sensitivity to our lived experience stories that might inadvertently put people at risk. Yeah. Another example might be Anthony, if I may, with you, Anthony, being someone that's responsible. May I, Anthony?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. And if it doesn't work, just tell me and we'll delete the conversation. But somebody that's involved in finance at a judiciary requirement, yeah, that might have consequences to his role in the finance sector. Is that
Yeah.
fair enough to say, Anthony?
Yeah. And I think, with my mental health history and conditions, it does make people you know, so if I'm transparent about it, it does make it, harder to find a project to work on because there's tens of thousands of other people offering the same thing who don't have that.
Well, there's also, not only is there tens of thousands of other people that don't disclose their mental health, but if you disclose your mental health to someone and then they hire you, it puts them at risk because they'll then say, well, why did you hire this fucking mental person? You know?
Yeah,
And like you have a duty to hire the best person for the organization.
yeah,
Does that make sense?
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. Because a lot of the time, once I am working, I guess with my autism that I find my work, I feel at home in Microsoft Excel, and I can find my way in there once I get into it. I guess it's like painting a painting or whatever.
yeah, no, I'm a bit like that.
Yeah, I suppose, David, as well, you don't want to, like for myself, I was afraid of being labeled, labeled as the drinker or the alcoholic or the drug user, when I was growing up, because there's a stigma to it. And I was afraid to admit because I was scared I was going to be labeled. And that label, once that somebody knows you as that person that drinks, or that person that uses, it takes a while for that stigma to wear off. From making sense.
Yeah.
I think things are changing. So, like when I was younger, uh, my cousin uh, went into a coma. Well, drank too much, fell downstairs, went in a coma, and he came out of it and joined AA. And we didn't hear from him since. We know it was like that is it. And like so, everyone knew he got sober, but he just like so that was like 15, about maybe 20 years ago, and we hear little bits about him, but he still went in. He went in. He for him, he had to take. He took himself, and I think it used to be like that. Like I very rarely. Well, I just didn't know people in recovery. I knew people, and so whereas I just think over the last few years, I think the last 5 years, I started hearing about recovery and actually seeing it in other people, and people being more open about it. So, but I think before that, it really was us and them. I'm them being well, like the sober ones, the people who got clean, uh, were keeping themselves away, so not to get infected again with the good times. So I think things are, yeah, they're changing around here where I am, and now people like I'm open about it, which has made more of it. Like my sister has done the 12. She did OA. And I didn't know until I was in it until I told her I'd got recovery. She kept all that secret. Uh, but yeah, things are becoming more open. But it was,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people in our group in the recovery scene used to be a lot more cautious. A lot more cautious, yeah.
Where's the boundary between coaching someone and someone being in clinical therapy? What do you share? What's appropriate to share and what's not?
I think it's okay to share lived experience and relate to someone.
Yeah.
Uh,
So that's one of the, and
but
I'm
not,
going to use the word therapy
yeah.
cautiously.
But
That's
we,
one of the therapeutic values of it. It helps build rapport.
But we have to be really like at me at my place. We've got to be really careful on trauma bonding. Uh, yeah, the trauma. If it when you see it happen, you see one person starts, and the whole the whole room will just explode into war stories, and you see like the excitement goes up. So we have to bring that down.
Wonderful. So you're reading the container there, Daniel.
Yeah,
Great stuff.
yeah.
Okay,
And real,
explain to us what trauma bonding is.
so if we've say there's 10 people sat around having a tea and coffee and having a little chat, and then I'll just start going on about if just that if someone starts going on about a drug experience and it's the drama of it, and then someone like will try and outdo them with, oh well, I've done worse than that. Oh, you're not even an addict. The or just shit, all these horrible things are happening to me. None of it's about the solution. It's just I and everyone, a lot of other people I come across, we can get a affirmation from sharing these traumatic events and getting hugs and come by ours uh it and it just it can give you a bit of a but you get a dopamine hit from sympathy and from remembering and nostalgia. Never a
You
good
become a
thing.
part of your story. It resonates with someone else, and there's a
Yeah.
real kind of, oh, this person gets it.
Yeah. But it's not helping anyone get better. It's not pointing out a solution. And that's what we've always got to bring it back to. Oh, yeah, I can appreciate I was there. What I did then uh, was this, and this.
Yeah.
Someone suggested to me, uh, and I heard what they said, and I did the complete opposite and ended back up where you were. So this time
So
round,
that sits in the mentorship space.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
But I think that's what I was saying. I think a lot with the when I used to do a lot of groups with the like CGL for harm reduction and things like that, I just found there was a lot of trauma bonding
Lots
because
of trauma bonding, huh?
and yeah, and it's because when you keep in drinks diaries or drugs diaries, and all you're doing is coming back with more and more war stories. Yeah, so that's really difficult. I do think about going back up there and actually trying to be part of these groups again now that I'm clean. Uh, but I've got a load of trauma stories just from going to them when I wasn't, and that was yeah. It's a yeah. I think what Olivia's doing is really amazing. I think and really stuff, especially the ketamine use at the moment, that is blowing up. You get more and more young people, but they're getting sent by their parents. They don't really want to be here. Uh, but yeah.
All right, let's explore that quickly. Yeah. All right. How many people here are ketamine addicts? Typical, obviously, Daniel.
Yeah,
I've
God, fucking hell, that doesn't surprise me.
my favorite for
I've
20
used it a
years.
lot, but it wasn't my drug of choice.
I loved it.
I loved it. Yeah. Okay. So I've had ketamine a couple of times just out of kind of, but it hasn't been that kind of daily ritual stuff that, yeah.
Oh, I was injecting it 5 times a day.
Wow.
Okay, thank you. So there's some trauma bonding there from Daniel. Great.
That's just descriptive. Yeah, it got dark. It was really dark. It
It
was
can
really
get
dark.
dark.
Yeah.
What's it like sharing that, Daniel, on the internet?
I think if anyone knows me on the internet, they'll know that was my story. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
But it
So
was
what's been helpful for you in getting into recovery around that?
The first time, the only the thing that changed was going into a meeting with people who had got recovery, and because I'd been going through the motions for years, and it very quickly when I was going through services, it just became another way to get more drugs, uh, because being asked to keep drinks diaries and things like that. So when I was finally confronted, it was like I did not want to. I avoided meetings because I thought if I go into a meeting, I'm just going to go off with other people who are using, and it will just get even worse. That's what I believed. And then I went in and I was sat opposite people that I knew, who I thought I'd only seen 6 months previous, and then one of them says, "No, I've not seen you for 5 years," and realizing that they weren't using drugs anymore, and I thought, "Oh, there's something here." Because I'd never seen that. I didn't see the only thing I knew was just people dying. That's it. I thought the only way out was to die. Um, so it was getting away from the trauma dumping people, getting away from uh,
What did work? Make be
it was
concise about it for us lot here that haven't got that sort of lived experience.
well, it was for me, it was a 12-step program. It was going into 12-step meetings. I go to NEA. I don't have favoritism for one. I'll go to CA, I'll go to NA, I'll go to CMA, which is Crystal Meth Anonymous. Uh, and because I go to hear a message from people and share what I'm going through. And
But what do we need to hear
I
that
need
would
to
have
win.
made it easier for you?
I, I think you need to sit in a room with people who have got better and hear that you can. That's what did it for me.
And what would make this room like that?
What would make this room like that?
Yeah.
Uh, if we said, "Hi, I'm Daniel and I'm an addict."
Hi, I'm Daniel. I'm an addict.
uh, I'm not sure what you mean. How would we make this room? Well, we could turn it into a meeting if you wanted, but I think most of us know, we've been through that now, and we know that that is the solution is
So
group therapy
one
in
of
that
the
way.
false beliefs I want to break is you
Yeah.
don't have to be one to help one.
Oh no, not at all. Uh,
That's one of the things that I want to break. So you don't have to have had your kids kind of taken away to be able to help Olivia
no,
or
not at
me.
all.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You don't have to have lost your father at a young age to be able to help Davide. Yeah.
No, but I
You-
think we get a lot. We get a few people who are in Al-Anon. Uh, I think it does. As long as there needs to, all right, so Charlie's right there. There needs to be a common story. There needs to be something that you can relate to. So, like, we've got a lady at the moment, and she's in Al-Anon. Her daughter, she's going through a really hard time with her daughter. Uh, and
Just be careful how you share
yeah, no,
because I
yeah,
really don't want to delete this recording. We've
yeah,
got
yeah.
so much out of this one.
But she's because of her experience, and actually, she's coming to our groups, and she's loving hearing from the other side, from people who've gone through the addiction. And actually, what she shares is really valuable because, it can be quite uncomfortable to hear from a parent of what they're going through and what we put people through.
Great. Okay.
But
So
but
so
it's very necessary.
okay. So it's important from a systemic perspective to hear all the different voices within the system because that in itself makes it
Real.
um
Yeah.
well, what's the word I'm looking for? It brings wellness. It brings systemic wellness. So
Yeah.
if I listen and I hear how other family members have been impacted by my selfish, self-centered behavior,
Yeah.
yep, it actually helps me go, oh shit, I'm a bit of a
Yeah.
prick
And if
here.
and if someone hears how, like, for me personally, like the biggest thing I had was when my sister cut me off.
Okay.
Uh, because she'd been advised from someone in Al-Anon, and like that's when I was like, my sister always put up so much of my rubbish, uh, like my shit. My sister had put up my shit for years and been at my hospital bed and everything, and she just started replying with one word, it's like, yeah, whatever, yeah, okay, and I
So your
realized.
sister started putting in boundaries.
Yes, and that was when I thought, oh my God, even my sister doesn't want anything to do with me. I
Okay.
really, and that was what planted a seed that started me to think I need to get out of this. I need to stop doing what I'm doing because I had been rescued all the time and I didn't even see it that way because I was so selfish.
Okay. Let's hear
Yeah.
from Anthony.
I was going to say, in my experience, you know, from my late teens when I started using and having issues with using, all of the doctors and psychiatrists and anyone who I met, I just didn't care what they were saying. It took me until I went to treatment when I was 38 and being around my everyone in the treatment center had lived experience, and then it took me from them telling me their stories to be like, oh yeah, this does all make sense now. I always could never resonate with all of the NHS staff and doctors and whoever I seen over all those years because I was leaving those guys and going back into an environment. I only hung around with people who used, and then there everyone's like, "You're fine, you'll be sound. Have a few drinks, do this, do that," and then it took me until I was taken out of society and put in a treatment center, and everyone who worked there had lived experience, and it was like, "Oh yeah, these guys are well. Like I want what these guys have."
Okay. So we all know lived experience is very helpful in improving treatment outcomes. So if you've got to go off and buy lived experience, what does that look like? Because there's a lot of unwell people out there that have lived experience that tick the boxes, but fuck, I wouldn't put them in front of anyone. So here's a case study. Yep, something to ponder. Yep. Somebody's come out of jail for kidnapping a girl and sexually abusing them. And their history in jail was sexual abuse. And they've come out of jail and now they've opened up a charity to support school children. Would you send your child to that organization after school?
Oh, do you know what? That's a very relevant question. Uh, would I send? I would say if I was aware of these facts, that would be a definite no. What if, but what if say say that past was 20 years ago, uh, does that person have a right to move on with their life? Uh, or does, yeah, if something like this comes out as gossip, say, because that's just something that came up recently.
Charlie?
Mm.
So the guy who's beaten his wife, he's in prison. Is that right? No. The guy who's sexually assaulted his wife, he's now in prison for it. Is that right?
No, no. The person was put in jail for kidnapping
Oh,
a teenage girl.
yeah.
Yep. Sexual abuse. Yep. And in prison. Yep. Was in the part of the gang that they were in as they controlled the sex within the prison.
Mm.
Well, first of all, I don't think he would be allowed to open a charity for kids anyway because of safeguarding DBS checks around that. I don't think he'd be allowed to. That would be the first thing. If if he was rehabilitated and whatever else, yeah, everybody deserves a chance to move on. Everybody, in my opinion.
Okay, so you'd send your teenage daughter there after school to.
Well, if it's a school or a charity, he's not going to be working alone, man, is he? Man, he's going to have staff members and all this. But if it was just him, then you'd have to rethink that. But if there's staff and whatever else, then
Okay. Other people?
I think honestly, I would feel a little bit uncomfortable.
You're so fucking polite, Olivia.
Yeah. But like we are kind of becoming coaches with lived experience. He could be approaching it as lived experience of what to look out for, that kind of thing. But yeah, I'd be very wary about sending my daughters there. That's just me.
Anthony, Davide?
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, David.
Thank you, Anthony. Yeah, David, I think, I'd be quite wary, concerned. I'd have to personally go sit and have a chat and see and learn more about his recovery and get to know him more to really get the feel of him. But yeah, like I think we all need a second chance in life. And I mean, where do we start? I mean, if he's sincere enough and he's surrendered, and I would say with remorse and maybe I would say with repentance, if I want to speak in a spiritual way. Yeah, I think yeah, we all do deserve a second chance, absolutely.
Right, I'm going to get controversial here and just say, right, I think
Let's just hear from Anthony first, and then I'll come back to Daniel.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree with, I think I'd have to spend some time with the guy and see where he's at, and get comfortable with it. I wouldn't, if I seen it pop up on, I don't use social media, but if I seen it pop up on Facebook, I wouldn't just be like, click and inquire, you know. But if you met him and he's, then I do think everyone deserves a second chance. And I guess this is where stigma around people's past does become a sticking point, and it's finding ways to break that so everyone has an equal opportunity in whatever way possible.
Daniel?
Well, I'm gonna say this is where I think kindness, politeness has gone too far and stuff. I think people do deserve a second chance, but I think there's certain things you could have done in your past that are gonna reflect on what you should be able to do in the future. And I think for someone who has been arrested for kidnapping and rape uh, in the past, they lose the privilege to be able to look after other people's children or be involved in that. I think that's unfortunately for if if it felt like that's their vocation, that privilege should be lost. Uh, because as much as yeah, you can have a second chance, but there's a lot of other things you can do in society than choose that path. So I'd say no. I don't think when with children involved that well what privileges do the children get?
Can I throw something in?
Please do.
What if something like that happened in your past, and then you have daughters? Like that's where I'm standing a definite no, because it bring up too much trauma for for me personally, as well as like putting my children in that kind of environment.
Yeah, but you also don't know what happened in that person's life to draw him towards kidnapping and child abuse. I mean, what trauma did he go through? You know, just
And what trauma does someone else have to go through before we
yeah, you see,
resolve this?
that's controversial.
I mean, at the moment, you mean, guys, I am working with a man who was accused of 2 different rapes,
Yeah.
and he got not guilty on both,
Mm-hmm.
and his life is ruined, even though he got not guilty on both, and didn't do it, swears blind, he never done any of it. His life is still ruined. He can't leave the house, can't leave his neighborhood in case he gets man beat up. So even though by peers and court cases found him not man guilty, his life is still man ruined. As soon as you mention sex or sexual anything man at all, your life's ruined.
But we're not talking about that. Like I appreciate
but
that is a tragedy.
how?
That is an absolute tragedy what's happened there. But we're
No, yeah.
talking in this
What are we learning in
situation.
the classroom?
Yeah.
So
We're
good,
here
isn't it?
to
It's great,
learn
isn't it?
shit.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah. But I'm just saying, in this situation, this person has been convicted, and yeah, you're innocent until proven guilty. That
How old is the man? You mean David? You when he committed the crime in the case management notes?
Let me just check case management notes here.
Yeah, check the notes.
Okay, 18-year-old gang member.
Yeah,
Yep, and sentenced to 20 years in jail.
yeah.
Okay, so just to throw a bit more spice into the story, just to really fucking wind you all up. Yeah. Okay. The sex with the 17-year-old female was consensual and videoed. And the reason it was videoed was to protect themselves from being accused of being of rape.
I missed the last 2 minutes. Crashed.
So the 17-year-old female had sex, yep, with the reformed gangster, and that was videoed to prove that it was consensual.
I think for me that if he's that pre-planned and God knows what he's going to be scheming through his sessions, it makes it a bit tricky, I think. If he's that smart to be doing that, it makes it a very touchy subject to be then sending my kids to his sessions.
But also, isn't that illegal unless if you've not got an audience paying money to see it? Uh, it's illegal porn, isn't it? So, um,
And that kind of mindset, I mean, it's premeditated.
but
I mean, he has planned everything, and he's making sure he's covering his footsteps. I mean,
yeah, but I think you
that
need to pay
is,
an audience for it to be legally to be shown. Otherwise, it's still illegal if you just showing sex
yeah.
tapes.
I don't want to play this game anymore.
Yeah, I don't like
I'm
it.
out. I'm out. I'm out.
Yeah. It's
I'm out.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm just going to throw a 666 and get out.
Yeah. It's
Okay, so there's something to think about. Yeah.
yeah.
Is this someone? Do you want to advertise this? Is this someone you know? Do you want to pop up on a website or anything?
No,
No, but I tell you, and I'll be careful about this. There was something got bought from someone's past, and it was from 20 years ago, and it was very delicate like that. And it was gonna go. I had stopped someone from spreading this as gossip because they were talking about something that was from 20 years ago that we didn't have all the information on. And actually,
yeah, the old Bill are watching now. They're playing with the internet, so we stop this conversation.
Yeah, especially if you got I've got two daughters of my own, and sure, no, I can't think.
That's a no.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't particularly like this kind of case study. I feel a bit uncomfortable in my stomach. It's way above my pay grade, and thank God I just stay in my little lane here. This would be out of my scope of practice.
Yeah, out of my lead.
That's the
Yeah.
But we also don't work in isolation.
Yeah.
So even if you do have a private practice, you need to make sure you have some sort of supervision or guidance around this sort of stuff. Yeah. And I think one of the things in the UK is there's a lot more policies and procedures in place to try and address that stuff. In third world countries, that's a luxury that's not around. Yeah. All right, everyone, on that very unhappy, sick note, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Those of you that are coming this afternoon, we'll see you there. I'm very excited about the Sober Companion training in a couple of weeks. Everyone good if I put this recording out there?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
All right. We will talk more. I check out with a lot of joy. And I will tag Anthony if he's not feeling too nauseous himself.
I am feeling fine.
Good.
Checking out, feeling grounded. Thank you. I will tag Daniel.
Daniel, you've
He's
been
a-
tagged.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I keep crashing. Uh, yeah, that was interesting, wasn't it? A bit controversial. Good way to end. And I'll tag Charlie.
Thanks,
This has
Daniel.
been.
I am checking out, feeling grateful. We've got a busy afternoon, so I'm looking forward to that. Over to David.
Thank you, Charlie. Yeah, also checking out, feeling good, also grounded, and looking forward to next week. Olivia?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I won't be able to make next week as I'm picking the person up from treatment, taking them to the rehab. So
Wonderful. So you're doing sober companion work already.
yeah.
Brilliant.
So yeah, I pick him up again next week. Hopefully he's not as chatty as he was going in there. But he did text me last night and apologized. He said I must have talked the whole time, and I went, yeah, kind of. Yeah, it was a lot of that. But I'm grateful that I'm allowed to do that I'm helping him out. I feel very honoured to be able to do it for him, and him to trust me with that as well. So, and the rehab trusting me and picking them up. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm checking out really grateful and really good at the moment. I think it's back to you, David.
Yeah, I'm checking out. I always find that case study a very difficult one to talk about. but it's also very necessary. Yeah, and I take this work very seriously. It's not just about fucking stop taking drugs, let's live happily ever after together. These are people's lives that we're working with. So thank you all for your time. And
Thank you, David.
Yeah,
Thank you, David.
lots
Thank
of love,
you.
everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
See you later, guys.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Till
You
next week.
guys.
Cheers.